Before we start, I've got some fantastic news. I'm giving away 2 Google Pixel 4a phones, so stay tuned. In this video, I'll be letting you know how to enter. Hi guys, it's ASBYT and this is the OnePlus Nord, in my opinion the best budget phone of 2020. And this is the Google Pixel 4a, in my opinion the best budget phone of 2020. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Or does it? As you can tell from that tongue-in-cheek intro, both of these phones are in with a shout of best big branded budget phone of 2020. I've been using both of them on and off for the last month or so, and they're both excellent in their own ways, but equally they both have some drawbacks, which we'll touch on because they may be deal breakers for you. So which one is right for you? Well, the Pixel 4a has a headphone jack, so that pretty much concludes the video, doesn't it, really? Are we done? Can we wrap up? You can't get rid of me. There's far more to it than that. So these two phones are very, very simple to understand. They both take some great features from their more expensive flagship siblings, and then equally they leave out some of the features from the flagships, in turn dropping the price quite significantly. But they do so in 2 very different ways, which you'll see in a minute. Both are great for those of you who want a brand new phone in 2020 that does pretty much everything really well, but without the full bells and whistles features that some would find excessive and pricey additions. So in order to fully judge these two over the last month, I've looked at 6 main cornerstone attributes that the average person would want in a smartphone. So good build quality, good display, good camera, good battery, good performance and software, and a decent price. And if it were a simple case of scoring at first glance, the Nord would win. It just would. Bigger battery, better chipset, better display, and it feels more premium in the hand. And the only areas out of those 6 attributes that the Pixel 4a would win would be, probably in my opinion, camera and price. Now I very much could end the video completely right there, but like with anything, it's not quite as simple as that, because not everyone wants the same things or prioritizes the same things in a phone. So there are counter arguments in every one of those 6 categories. So let's take a deeper dive at all of those 6 cornerstones, starting with build quality and how they've stood up in the month or so that I've been using them. And if you're enjoying this video so far, a sub would mean a lot to me. Both on the whole have done pretty well. There are minor hairline scratches on both displays, proving that even though the Nord has a more advanced Gorilla Glass 5 to the 3 on the Pixel, they will both scratch fairly easily in the right circumstances. You also get the same more advanced GG5 protection on the back of the Nord compared to the plastic on the 4a, but even though the Nord frame looks like metal, it's not. It's plastic, and so it will damage as easily as the Pixel 4a. You can see clear examples of this with the scuff to the Type-C port that you probably wouldn't see on a more premium material. The Nord does look and feel better quality, but some of you would prefer a smaller form factor and the matte finish to the rear compared to the glossy on the Nord, so in that case there is an argument for the Pixel 4a here, a sentiment that follows through to the display. Objectively, the Nord is better. 90Hz Full HD AMOLED compared to the 60Hz Full HD OLED on the Pixel, so scrolling, jumping in and out of apps, gaming, more on that later, does feel smoother on the Nord. Both are bright, nice and crisp with good viewing angles, decent contrast, with the Nord tipping it with a high refresh rate and more real estate for watching movies, etc. But subjectively, if you again prefer a smaller display for reachability, something I have found refreshing on the 4a in a sea of humongous phones, or you prefer that single punch hole camera cutout to the dual pill cutout on the Nord, then again the Pixel may be a better option for you. And speaking of cameras, I will recommend both for 2 different types of people. If you want one of the best phones for standard photos, portraits and selfies, go with the Pixel. This is not to say the Nord has bad standard and portrait shots, far from it, but the Pixel 4a's primary and portrait shots match and even exceed pretty much any phone camera at any price on the market. Great sharpness and detail, HDR capabilities, and just all round you can get some stunning results. But, and it's a pretty big but, if an ultra wide angle lens both on the rear and on the front are important to you, neither of which you get on the Pixel 4a, or you're going to enjoy playing around with a macro lens, even though it's not that great on the Nord, it's still there, the OnePlus device might be a better option for you. Side note, both low light modes, night sight on the Pixel and nightscape on the OnePlus device, are very good, with the Pixel 4a's offering probably just pinching it. There's also a pinch between the two when it comes to battery. The capacity, as stated at the start, is larger on the Nord, and it does just about hold up better than the Pixel 4a in everyday use, but the results are closer than I was expecting. The Pixel 3a from last year surpassed most people's expectations in terms of battery performance for the capacity size, and it's a similar sort of theme with the Pixel 4a. On top of that, it only has to power the 5.81-inch display compared to the 6.44-inch on the Nord, and of course, if Nord owners are using the higher refresh rate, it will drain battery faster also. So it's pretty close, and they're both pretty decent. Neither are industry leading, but both do a pretty decent job in terms of getting you through a full day without the need to charge. So up to now, I'm sure you'll agree it's been pretty close between the two. But what about performance and software? This might be make or break for one of them. Well, straight out the gate, software-wise, you guessed it, sorry to disappoint, both very, very similar. In terms of my preference, ridiculously close. The Pixel 4a is made by Google and thus runs with the cleanest vanilla version of the latest Android available. But to say the Nord is packed full of unwanted bloatware like some of the other Android phones would be completely false. OnePlus have a very good working relationship with Google and have chosen since their inception to stay as close to stock Android as possible and just add a few tweaks here and there, like the new improved dark mode theme and the hide apps feature. These changes may improve your experience, but importantly, if they don't, they're not taking too much away from the stock feel that a lot of other manufacturers do. I have heard, and pinch of salt here, I have heard that OnePlus are potentially looking with their latest Oxygen OS 11, up from the 10 that you see on here, they're potentially changing the software slightly to match more in line with what you get from Samsung with One UI. Kind of a mix between One UI and stock Android. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. I love Oxygen OS kind of how it is, and I'm not sure some of the die-hard OnePlus fans would be a big fan of that decision. But again, pinch of salt, wait for clarification. In terms of performance, the 765G in the Nord is a more powerful chip compared to the 730G in the Pixel 4a. Both will be more than competent at everyday tasks like web browsing, switching between different apps, going on social media, making calls, the majority of what you need a phone to really do. But certainly, if you're gaming, for example, then you're going to get better performance on the whole from the OnePlus Nord. So overall, in this really close comparison, which phone should you actually buy? Well, in my opinion, the OnePlus Nord is a more complete phone. It ticks more boxes than the Pixel 4a, so objectively, I feel the OnePlus Nord is a better device. But subjectively, depending on who you are, the Pixel 4a might be a better option for you. I hope that's helped. I hope you're now not more confused than when you started the video, but you're going to enjoy both phones. No matter what you get, you will probably love it, especially for that sort of price. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below which one you're going to go for if you are indeed going to purchase one of these two phones. Oh, before I let you go, nearly completely forgot, the giveaway for the Google Pixel 4a. Two devices I've got, and if you head over to my Instagram, ASB_YT, all the information on how you can enter will be there on the post related to this video. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you are new to the channel and love everything tech, breaking tech news, unboxings, reviews. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. ASBYT, peace out.